singer, songwriter, producer, and now theater actor. I got that off of his Twitter. I'm talking about Kris Lawrence. Born in the States and born a full-blooded Filipino, Kris is joining us today so we can get a sneak peek into his experiences, his thoughts, and future forecasts about the entertainment industry. So let's get to it right now. Kris, welcome to FM1 Spotlight, man.
Oh yeah, what's up everybody? It's your boy Kris Lawrence and I'm very, very happy to be here. Thank you guys so much for having me. What's up?
Earlier, ladies and gentlemen, for our audience tuned in, and we were talking about him being a plantito. How did you get into that?
I gotta be flat out honest. I'm a pandemic plantito. So while I was stuck at home, you know, sitting on the couch, I was like, this house is a little bare. I need to add some plants. So you know what? It's actually very, very addicting and it's very therapeutic. So I guess that's why I got addicted. And then you start off with like, I started off with like yung mga mas mura, yung cheaper plants. And then you get to like the rare plants. So I just tried to have rare plants after a while.
All right, so for all the plantitos and the plantitas out there and the future plantitos and plantitas, what's the most expensive plant? I mean, I have no idea with the whole plant thing going on. Like, what is the most expensive plant that you have and the one that you're aiming for next?
Well, honestly, I kind of like laid low with, I just chilled out with what I got because if I was to like make a zoom out, like you would be like, whoa, that dude's got a bunch of plants.
It's like a jungle.
But believe it or not, there was even more. There was actually ×2. I had to give some away because my place was getting too, I had too many plants. But to answer your question, the most expensive plant I have, it's not too much because I've been to plant shows and I've seen a plant, bro, for like...
Plant shows.
I've been to a plant show and I've seen one for ₱1 million, bro. And when you see it, you're like, why? Why is this ₱1 million? And
do you happen to know why?
It's rare. It's just like really rare like that. So it's funny because what's it called? It's just written on the, like it's written with a black marker on the pot. 1 million. It's not even like on a nice price tag or anything, or yeah.
It's like an index card. Okay, thank you for teaching me something new today. I appreciate that. I'm definitely not gonna get into plants. All right.
But
so now
mine is right there. That one, it's a Thai constellation Monstera, and that costed me about $30K, $600
don't let it die, bro.
It's funny. It used to have 3 leaves, and one time I was putting it out in the sunlight, and out of nowhere, one of the leaves just fell.
That's 15,000 peso. It's like a 5,000 peso leaf.
It was like a 10,000 peso leaf. I was like, oh
man, that's crazy. Crazy cool though. Crazy cool. All right, so a year's worth of COVID, since we're talking about that, and these on and off lockdowns, since we're both located in Metro Manila right now. I want to ask, like, I know it's been a tough time, but what's the highest point of your life been so far? You know, trying to look for the silver lining in the clouds. What's been a good part of the past year so far, besides getting into plants?
Getting into business, man. Getting into business. So I started a merch company. It's called Champ Taylor. So what we do is we it's kind of like uniform. So we have like parang tahian, and we've been working with Shopee, with like Food Panda. We just recently acquired Globe. We're doing their merch basically. But another thing that I want to help do is my fellow artists. Like I have my own brand. I have my own KL brand, like my own hats, my own jackets. I have my own. I just have my own merch, and I would love to help all the other artists that that want to expand their brand. You know what I mean? Like they want to have jackets. If they want to have their entourages following them around with like, you know, example, Michael Pangilinan. I'm doing his next merch. So I'm I'm doing a couple jackets for him and his team. That way, when he goes to a show, his whole crew got Michael Pangalina branded on his stuff. So it makes him look like super super legit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
So how
I'm
about
helping people build their brand through merch.
and then how about helping the national radio station come up with some
Hey man, let me know.
KL, right, right.
Let me know.
On the opposite end, though, with the high points, something that you can share, maybe a low point.
A low point.
Everyone's had a low point, yeah, and how
Okay.
maybe you've overcome it.
Twice it happened. The first time I went through anxiety, man.
Oh yeah.
I went through anxiety. The first, I think it was April. It was like when the pandemic was just new. I went through anxiety, and it was actually a number of things. But this is the funny thing is I cured it. You ready? I cured
Yeah.
it with salt.
I'm happy you didn't say plants. Okay, but salt. How does that work?
I cured it with salt. So I was getting anxiety, and I was feeling nervous about things. I was feeling nervous about the future. It was a lot of mental overthinking stuff, right? So I called one of my friends. I take this supplement. It's all minerals, super great supplement. It's called Choco Bam Bam, and the guy that makes it. It sounds funny, right?
The name, yeah, the name
Oh,
is
yeah.
like
But it's dope. So he's like my mentor because he lives supernatural, not supernatural like Goku or something, but like he eats all organic, plant based, and I go to him instead of going to the doctor first because I'm like 90% vegan, so
okay.
I'm heading towards natural healing, natural restoration, stuff like that. So I called him, right. He's like, pre, anong nararamdaman mo? Ganto, ganto. So I'm feeling nervous, this and that. So he was like analyzing. He's like, anong kinain mo today? Ganitong ganito. So check this out. And everybody listening, this is a great thing to pick up. He said, feeling ko bro, mababa yung sodium mo. I was like, huh? Okay. He's like, kuha ka ng may pink salt ka ba dyan? Pink salt, Himalayan salt. So I was like, yeah. He's like, okay, put some on your palm. Put some pink salt on your palm. Dilaan mo. Anong lasa? I was like, so
Mukha mo
we,
like
we
that.
all we all know what salt tastes like. I mean, right? We know yung tamang lasa ng salt. This time, bro, when I licked the palm of my hand and the salt, like my face just, it was too strong. It was like super salt. And then when he's like, matapang ba? I was like, sobra, bro. He's like, ayan. Ibig sabihin, mababa yung sodium content mo sa katawan. Mag-sodium ka. Ang mangyayari sa'yo, papawisan ka, tas aantukin ka. Pag inantok ka, matulog ka, tawagan mo ako sa umaga. Dude, when I woke up, I was perfect.
Question though, did you like chug the Himalayan salt? How did you get the extra salt?
I didn't chug. So what I did was I ate a potato because he said to, and this is like at 8 a.m. because I couldn't sleep, man.
Right.
I just couldn't sleep. So I slept maybe for an hour. I woke up because I was palpitating, overthinking. A lot of us went through anxiety for a number of reasons, right? With the pandemic, a lot of uncertainties, a lot of stress, a lot of people lost their jobs, just a lot of things, man. But one thing I did realize was nutrition is such a big thing to back you up. It's like almost probably could be the number one thing that backs you up while you're going through anxiety. Because when you go through anxiety, you think a lot. So you need the nutrition to back up your body, to give your body the energy that it's gonna burn to think. Like you realize, when people get stressed out, they hella lose weight.
Yeah.
It's because they think so much and they burn all those calories and wala silang appetite kumain, and then their body freaks out. So, after the anxiety thing, I dove even more into my nutrition. So That's why on all my IG stories, on my social media, it's always health is wealth, and I've become such a health advocate ever since. And yeah, so
True, true. I
so
think because of the pandemic,
Mhm.
a lot of us have started paying more attention to how we
Definitely,
treat ourselves, both physically,
definitely,
mentally, emotionally, spiritually. I mean, it's great to
definitely.
hear that you found your way to kind of rise above, this madness that's been around for
Yeah.
years. But speaking of a year, and from your perspective as a business owner, as a new business owner, as an artist, as a public figure, like where do you see the next 12 months going, specifically for, let's say, artists? Because I know there are
Artists.
no concerts, there are no
Mm,
events, you can do it online, but like,
right.
how does that work out?
Um, well, a lot of it is online. I was actually really, really busy, which was such a great blessing, November and December. But that was because that's like the busy time for artists, especially because of the Christmas parties and stuff like that. So I was very, very thankful that at that time I was still getting called. The downfall of it was I was getting swabbed like twice a week. One time I got swabbed 4 times a week, bro.
Wow,
that was that
that's
sucks
not a
so
happy
bad.
brain.
It's not, bro.
Yeah.
It's not. And I'm just happy that I was still working at that time. After December, it kind of went into a slope. Um, but to answer your question, where do I see it going in the 12? I see it going online. I mean, now we see all these vloggers arising, like past mainstream. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So like the power is definitely online. So with what you guys are doing, like I'm here to support you guys whenever you need me.
All
Here.
right. Thank you very much. All right. So I'm curious. I've always been curious about this. I know what happened with JR back in the day, and I've always wondered this: like, who gives the titles? The Philippines prince, princess, king, queen, court jester of pop, of R&B, rock. Is it? Do you give it to yourself? Does the label give it to you, or is this something that comes from like your fandom?
That's a great question. The Prince, that was Jay. When he first came to the Philippines, he was known as the
Right.
Prince of R&B. And I don't know if we had a drunk talk one time or whatever. And I remember we were in the living room of our house. We used to live together. We lived together for about since 2006 to 2018,
Oh,
like
wow.
12 years, man. We lived together in this nice house, and we talked about like the titles and stuff like that. And then I was like, "Don't you ever wanna? I think you've earned it, bro. Maybe you should upgrade to the king." And I was like, "And who else would you give the title of the
There
prince
you
to?
go.
Rather,
There
wouldn't
you
you want to
go.
give it? Would you want it to go to someone else?" so, I mean, we didn't decide, but that was like a conversation we had. It was a drunk conversation or whatever it was. But
But hey, it
then,
worked out in real life.
but it worked out because GMA, when I was in GMA still, uh, they it was around the same time also, but they made JR the king of R&B. And I remember I had this song with Kyla at the time, and they promoted me on TV as the new Prince of R&B. So I think that was around 2014.
So you did end up being his successor, so to speak. Yeah.
Successor, predecessor.
Took over the crown.
He's
All
my
right, so
dad.
you do.
He's my dad.
That's cool. Let's see. I'm curious though. Like, what I know you as an artist, you get asked to. I mean, especially when you're starting out. If you're a busker or something. What's your most requested song to cover that you don't want to cover, but it comes up so often, you're just like, all right, I'll do it.
Leave the door open or Versace.
Yeah.
Versace and leave the door open because it's like if you're not warmed up to sing that song, you're done.
Yeah, I imagine. They're not easy songs to sing. Yeah. But what song do you like to cover? You're like, all right, let me show off my chops.
Show off my chops.
On
Versace.
Bended Knee? Oh, okay.
Versace. Probably Versace.
I
But
checked your Spotify, and I think On Bended Knee was like one of the most streamed tracks that you.
yeah, it was actually. That's why I during pandemic I actually looked at my Spotify, and I was looking at my number one songs on there, and I saw On Bended Knee. So I was like, why don't I do a video to this? Because I've never done any videos to that particular album, which was under Universal. They do great marketing. That had On Bended Knee, that had I'll Make Love to You, that had Run to You, a whole bunch of 90s. It was like the
Right.
90s R&B vibe. So I took some songs that I saw on my Spotify and I said, why don't I just do like a home quarantine cover of this? And that's one home project that me and Direct Migs worked on for a bit. Yeah.
Right. Good to know. It's working out pretty well. My next question is, well, we're all at home, so we're all online. Kris, like, what's your favorite go-to social media channel? Twitter.
My finger just
Facebook?
goes to Instagram. It just like as soon as I pick up my phone, it just goes to Instagram. So Instagram.
Instagram. All right. And
I
the
tried
best way-
TikTok. It's so exhausting, man.
You think so? What
For
do you
me.
find exhausting about
For
it?
me.
It's just that it's just so much video. It's just continuous.
The content that I have to keep making because I'm very new to it. It took me about a year and 3 months to give in. And I know like people make mistakes and that was a mistake that I made career-wise because at this point in time, TikTok is the number one thing that like advertisers look at. It's not even Instagram anymore, it's TikTok. And I should have jumped on when during pandemic because that's when like everybody went up like
everyone
that
just
on
got it,
TikTok.
yeah.
We live and we learn, and I hopped on the TikTok bandwagon a little late.
Did you
and,
dance? Were you dancing or?
I was dancing. Yeah, I was dancing.
Yeah.
I'm focusing more on comedy though.
Right. You're online and you're offline too. Online and offline guilty pleasures. Like for me, for example, online would probably be playing video games a little bit longer than I should be. It's like 1 a.m., 2 a.m., but I'm still playing. What are yours?
Online, I would say probably like if I'm on Instagram or Facebook, if I'll catch myself scrolling like without a purpose.
I think it's called doom scrolling.
Doom scrolling. Okay, there. That's
Can you
my
imagine?
guilty pleasure.
What a name, right?
That's like if I catch myself after a minute or 2 minutes, I'm like, what are you looking for? Stop.
Yeah.
What are you looking for? Stop.
You're like talking to yourself, like, wait a minute, why am I doing this again? Like, why am I on Facebook again?
Yeah, like go learn something.
Yeah.
Be productive.
And online? I mean, offline?
Offline. Shoot. What? Shopping.
Oh, yeah, it's getting easier here, especially in the Philippines, right? With Shopee and Lazada.
Online. Well, yeah, shopping. I don't know if that goes to Lazada, if that falls with online, but yeah, shopping, man. Shopping.
Oh, but in
first.
real life too, like
Yeah.
offline shopping. Haven't had
But
that in a while because of
But I've
COVID,
stopped. I've learned to control it.
with the plants too, especially, right? Because you got to when you're buying a plant, you got to be there in person, right? It's not something you can buy online.
No, I
Is
have
it?
bought online. Actually, my first
yeah?
couple of plants were online, and one of them is right there, and it's still pretty healthy. Actually, it was 3
It's still
leaves.
pretty healthy. I like how you say that.
No, it's actually really healthy. It was 3 leaves. Now it's 5 leaves,
Ah,
and it's a monstera, so it's.
no leaves have
it's
dropped,
okay.
right? So good stuff. Good stuff. All right, so let's go ahead and do some fast Q&A, as fast as possible, at least. First one up. I've been watching a lot of like work from home setups on YouTube. I'm curious, what's yours like? Is this a regular desk? plans?
Rode. Got the Rode. Got my in-ear monitors, and laptop.
Just laptop camera?
Laptop camera.
All right, good stuff. Life hacks that you picked up while trapped at home.
Life hacks. Testing a lot with nutrition. Testing your sodium level, testing your salt level. So with your sodium level, remember how I told you about the whole salt thing? So if here's the meter. If it's too salty, that means mababa yung sodium content levels mo. If you barely taste it, and if it doesn't taste as salty as salt, that means you have too much salt in your body. Mataas yung sodium mo. If it tastes normal, then it's normal. Same goes with sugar. Life hack.
All right, good stuff. I'm definitely gonna remember. Yeah. All right. So besides yourself and JR, what local artists do you find yourself having on repeat the most?
Moira.
Mm-hmm.
Just lately because yeah, honestly, lately I had another couple of episodes of anxiety. Gary V.
Okay.
Gary V. Who else? Did you say local or?
Yeah, local. But yeah, if you want to give me international too, yeah.
Well, of course, Bruno, because
yeah, I was gonna say Bruno Mars.
We all love Bruno. Yeah, I've listened to a lot of Moira, a lot of Gary V, Ben and Ben.
Yeah.
Of course, Jay, Buddha Kel.
I'll have to like Google that last one.
Buddha Kel is Bugoy, Daryl Ong, and Michael Pangalina.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
I'm familiar with Michael Pangalina, but not the other two fellas. But I'll definitely have to hopefully add them to our rotation on our radio station.
They're dope. They're beasts, man. Beasts.
How do I spell that? Buddha?
Okay, so Buddha Kel is actually a combination of the three of their names. Bugoy, Daryl, and Kel.
So Buda
Khel.
KH. Okay.
Buddha Kel, you're welcome for your promo.
For free, baby. Commercial free and for free, courtesy of Kris Lawrence. All right, so last one. It says here, tell me a scary story. Like a scary story no one knows about you, or at least not too many people know, if you're willing to bare your soul just a little bit. Like while performing, something happened, or being out in public, someone's following you around, it gets a little too creepy.
Oh, wow. Scary story. Damn. Wait.
See
what's
a ghost.
What's a scary story?
There's got to be like a Filipino thing, like in culture, or like like a certain ghost likes to hang out under a tree or something. But you got plenty of plastic
Well, here's another fact about me, another trivia about me. Like I'm very in tune with the other spiritual realm. So all that ghost stuff, that's like not new to me.
Oh yeah. You see anything while you were a kid though?
That's not new to me.
Would you say you have a third eye?
Oh, here I do. Yes, I do have a third eye.
You got something? All right, great.
But my third eye, it's not visuals. It's more empath.
Okay, so you kind of just feel it.
I feel people's emotions. Like I could feel if you're lying to me. Like I could feel people's energy from far away. Like if JR is not feeling cool, I could call him. Like, yo, you all right? Like I'll feel his energy field. Anyway, here's a scary story. This is funny.
Yeah.
It's not funny, it's scary.
Funny scary story.
4 years old. I was 4 years old. Me and my family just moved into our new house in Cherrystone Avenue in Los Angeles. So every time I would go outside to play, there would be this old couple next door, and I still remember how they looked like, Mr. and Mrs. Schwartz. That was their name. And I would talk to them, and I remember even Mr. Schwartz had bad breath, like really bad breath.
Right.
So I would talk to them, right? And years later, my dad would he asked me, he's like, Kris, do you remember those people you talked to, that old couple you talked to, Mr. and Mrs. Schwartz, that you would say that you would come home and I would ask you where you were, and you say you're talking to Mr. and Mrs. Schwartz? I was like, yeah, because Mr. and Mrs. Schwartz, they both had those, those black glasses that like a lot of the elderly people have because of eye problems or whatever. They both had that. One of them had a cane, one of them had a walker. He's like, that house has been abandoned for years, and there was no one ever living there.
Yo. That's not cool.
Yo, and then so when he told me that, I was like, what? He's like, yeah, Kris, there is no Mr. and Mrs. Schwartz. I was like, oh.
I'd be like, Dad, why are you just telling me now?
I don't know.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Oh man. Thank you for the insight though. I appreciate that. So anything else you'd like to promote? I know we've been going on and off for a little bit now. Is there anything like your latest single? Where are you performing next? Online, offline? Like how do we catch you?
Okay, so well, off the top of my head, Instagram. I'm very, very active on my Instagram. So please follow me, guys, at I'm Kris Lawrence. That's letter I, letter M. Walang A, because a lot of people try to look for me with I am. Walang A. It's I'm Kris Lawrence. Same across all platforms, Facebook, YouTube. Please do subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm still building it. It's the same thing. I'm Kris Lawrence. Twitter, Facebook, Laika. You guys can follow me on Laika as well. And yeah, I got a bunch of songs coming out, man. I got a collab with JR that we're doing with an international producer, hopefully under Warner. I got another collab with JR and CLR that's about to drop. Me and Denise Laurel, we did a reboot of our cover of I Will Take You Forever. So we just freshened it up. It's the 2021 version. And I also have an OPM project that's in the works right now. I also have the next solo single that I'm about to drop. It's called Buti na lang. Buti na lang. Buti na lang ika'y nandyan. So it's about that special someone in your life that's there through thick and thin, that's seen you at your worst, that's seen you at your best, and no matter whatever happens, andyan pa rin siya. So buti na lang ika'y nandyan.
All right. So when that drops, Kris, please do us a favor and send us a copy so we can give it some airplay.
Definitely. Definitely.
Yeah, cool stuff.
Yeah.
All right. Kris, thank you very much for scaring me, for making me laugh, and for teaching me something new. And I'm hoping that our audience, I'm sure our audience got the same too. Mr. and Mrs Schwartz. I'm going to be thinking about that all day. But again, Kris, thank you very much for getting to know you and spending your time with us.
My pleasure. And anytime you guys need me, I will always be here.
All right. Thank you very much. And that was Kris Lawrence letting us pick his brain this afternoon for FM1's Spotlight, being brought to you by the radio stations under the Philippine Broadcasting Service, Republika FM1, FM1 Davao, Capital FM2, RP1, and RP2. Of course, the music does not stop. Always commercial-free on the Republika 875 FM1. Be sure on the lookout for Kris's next single. And also be sure to tune in to us in the car when you're stuck in traffic, at home when you're doing your laundry, and online at www.pbs-fm.com. And if I could just ask one favor from you, wherever you are, in the car, at office, on the toilet, show us some love too. On Facebook and Instagram, we are at Republika FM1 Manila and at Republika FM1 Davao. And on Twitter, we are at Republika FM1. My name is Kyle. I enjoyed hanging out with you and Kris today, and I'll catch you on the radio sooner than you think. Thank you, and God bless.
Shout out to Team Manila, available online through dailygrindstar.com, Team Manila Shopee, and Lazada stores.
Microphones on and cameras set. We've heard their sound, and now it's time for us to ask around. FM1 Spotlight on Republika, exclusively on FM1.